हरि वो हरि वो हरि वो गौर हरि वो निताय गौर हरि वो हरि वो हरि वो गौर हरि वो गौर है निता है गौर है निता है निता है गौर है बहु कोटि चंद्रजिनी बदन उज्ज्वल 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 गलदेशे बनमाला करे झलमाला शिव सुख नारद प्रेमे गद गद शिव सुख नारद प्रेमे गद गद भक्ति विनोद देखे गौरा रसंपाद ठाकुर भक्ति ठाकुर भक्ति विनोद देखे गौरा रसंपाद हरि वो हरि वो हरि वो गौर हरि वो गौर हरि वो हरि वो निताय गौर हरि वो हरि वो हरि वो गौर हरि वो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद श्री जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरा भक्त वृंद जय श्री चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरा भक्त वृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण। राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Prabhu Jagannath Baladeva Jaya Subhadramaya Jaya Giri Raja Jaya Govardhana Giri Raja Jaya Govardhana Jaya Radha Madhav Jaya Radha Madhav Jaya Radha Madhav Jaya Radhe Shyam Lalita Vishakha Jaya Radhe Shyam Jaya Gaura Gadadhar Jaya Gaura Gadadhar Jaya Gaura Gadadhar Nitai Gaura Haribo Gaura Haribo Nitai Gaura Haribo Gaura Haribo Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Gurudev ताय गुरु शीतनाथ प्रेमानंद हरि बोल।
जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस स्पिरिचुअल हिडवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणारविंद भक्तिदांता स्वामी स्वरूपाद जी की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस स्पिरिचुअल सत्र हिडवाइन ग्रेस भक्ति सिद्धांता सतगुरु प्रभात जी की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय। नामचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। इसकान बीवीटी सतगुरु प्रभात जी की जय। प्रेम से कुश चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्रीदाधार श्रीवासा जी घोर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्णा गोपा गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिराज गोवर्धन की जय। वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवदीमा धाम की जय। गंगा माई यमुना माई की जय। भक्ति तुलसी देवी की जय। श्याम वेद भगविंद की जय। हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। ट्रांसीडेंटल बुक डिविजन की जय। प्रसाद डिविजन की जय। देवलोड श्री राधा माधव भगवान जी की जय। श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव भगवान जी की जय। श्री गौरचंद्र भगवान जी की जय। श्री गिरिराज गोवर्धन की जय। गौर प्रेम नंदे हरि बोल। ऑल गुरु सेलिब्रिटीज, ऑल गुरु सेलिब्रिटीज, ऑल गुरु सेलिब्रिटीज, ऑल glory, all श्री गुरु गौरंगा।
Namaste Narasingaya. Namaste Narasingaya. Praladalana Hiranyakashi Purvakshahai Shilatankanatayane Ito Nashima Bharato Nashima Ito Nashima Bharato Nashima Yato Yato Yami Tato Nashima Vaye Nashima Hridaye Nashima Narashimamadim saranam prapade Kavakana kamabare naita Dvita shringa Dalita hiranyakashipu Tadavina Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jagadeesha Hare. Jaya Nrsimhade, 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 Jaya Nrsimhade. Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Gaura Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo. Jaya, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya, Jaya Prabhupada. Nrsimhadev Bhagwan ki, Prahlad Maharaj ki.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you all for coming. We appreciate to Niskon Baltimore New Kilina Gram Dham. Can devotees come forward? So if anybody else who wishes to come later can be in the back bench or sit here. So devotees can come forward, please. So for Nitai Gaur Sundar, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra, Giri Govardhan and Radha Madhav, we welcome everybody on this snowy, rainy day. But look at Jagannath's mercy. Those who have willpower, they could come here and see the beautiful dressings of the deities and the wonderful kirtan. So loud Haribol for all of them, please. Today, Premdam Prabhu and his wonderful Bhakti Vriksha, led by Shyam Bhakti Mataji, they've done wonderful cooking. All the devotees have done an excellent job. They've been working since 11 o'clock. So you can loud Haribol for them, please. We'd like to thank you, Shikhapal Mataji, for sponsoring the feast today. We pray to the Lordships to bless her and her wonderful family with lot of bhakti, spiritual bhakti and material happiness, so they can progress in the path of bhakti process for that. Shikhapal Mataji is here today. Oh, his birthday? Oh, what's his name? Ashish Pal, huh? What is it? Hare Krishna to you, Hare Krishna to you, Hare Krishna to you, Hare Krishna to you. Haribo. May Krishna bless him so they can continue being one of the topmost Vaishnavas here with all the devotees here. Hare Krishna. Braj, you want to know something? Braj. So, you know Braj, right? He's Braj. Braj Dham comes here in the name of Braj. So, really? It's fine, Jagdish. So Braj, is in charge of the green project for the temple. And he's doing such a wonderful service, trying to look around how we can decrease the dependence on this plastic, everything on Mother Earth. And I think he came with some ideas, so I want him to share with devotees.
Hare Krishna, everyone. My name is Raj, and I'm part of the green team at ISKCON Baltimore. So our composting is going pretty good right now. We're currently organizing the plates, and we're reducing waste at our temple. And so our next few steps are going to be, we're buying like a few recycling bins, and we're going to start recycling. And we're going to find a composter in India somewhere, so we can find like a big industrialized composting machine and make like fine mulch and soil. So if anyone else has any ideas or wants to be a part of the team, just please let me know. and everything's going well right now. I'll give you guys an update when we find our composter and when we move on from this. Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. It's a lot of effort, to do all the stuff there, and I think Braj is doing great service. It takes time, it takes a village to handle. So what Braj's idea is actually very good, that we have a composting bin, and just like he's doing on Sunday feast, collect the plates. The whole week we want to do that itself and put all the things in the composting plate. What we have seen is by his efforts, we used to put like 5 or 6 trash bags because people put like this. Now we only use 1 or 2 trash bags on Sunday. So how much saving we are doing for that one. And then once we have this recycling, it will even decrease further. And plus we are also getting wooden spoons also, or recycling spoons. So we can have the whole, everything can be recycled for that one. So thank you, Raj, for the effort. Haribol. Yatin Prabhu, you want to come in? And yesterday, Yatin Prabhu, I think, and his wonderful team went, and Pranav Prabhu, all of them went to the Goshala. So he would like to update some things for that one.
Okay, Hare Krishna, everyone. So, yeah, he's over there. So we went to the Goshala yesterday, and we were very fortunate. If many of you saw the videos, we had a Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada disciple, His Grace Anuttama Prabhu, who came and visited the Goshala as well as the home and the barn. And we got a lot of good insight from him, and him and his son are going to help support the project in terms of the remodeling that's going on. And everything's working and moving really nicely in a fast pace. But we went again today to kind of talk to our contractor to make sure all the details are taken care of. And so we're very excited. Hopefully you all are excited as well. How many people know about our Goshala project? Hopefully everyone in the temple room. And we really thank you all for supporting us and spreading the word out to your friends and family members. April is a big day. We'll have our opening, and stay tuned for all the details with that. But we also obviously need continued support from you all. If you have friends, family members, whomever that would like to support us, we have different projects. I'm going to let Pranav Prabhu talk about his project in terms of our tree campaign as well. So come see us. We're around, and we would love to serve with you all. And if you have any input or advice for us as well, we're happy to work with you. So Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everyone. So yes, as Yatin Prabhu said, one of the projects we're doing at the farm is the fruit tree planting project. And our initial goal is to plant 50 trees by April 19th. So that is a good bit of tree, but we want to have a beautiful orchard to get started with. And again, we're looking at other efforts such as protecting our trees from deer, birds, other animals, making sure there's enough irrigation. They require frequent watering for the first year before they become self-sustainable. So there's a lot of efforts that needs to go into it. We're looking at, again, buying water tanks. So a lot of stuff we need to get to buy the trees and protect them, nurture them, before they can bear any fruit. So again, thank you for your support. Please keep supporting us the best you can. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Brajis, for a great effort. So appreciate it. So now you know that we have a shortened schedule today, because I think right now snow is not going much at all. It's probably 1 inch in the next several hours. But over 7:38, the snow can come. So now we have a lecture. 5:30, the curtains will close. We'll have Prashadam 6 o'clock, and 6:30 or so we'll open the curtain again, so you can have a darshan. And by 7 o'clock, we'll close the temple so devotees can go home safely for that one. So today I think it gives great pleasure. Today is a very beautiful topic. His Grace Premdam Prabhuji is a lecture today. All know Premdam Prabhu. He's like a charismatic leader here in ISKCON, runs many Bhakti Vrikshas. Almost like 25-30 families are under his and Mataji's guidance. All the Frederick and also in Hanover, he's doing wonderful Bhakti Vrikshas there. He's also top-class book distributor, senior disciple of His Holiness Vaishek Prabhu. And I think today he's going to talk about Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu. So many people know about Lord Gauranga, many people don't know about it. But today he's going to share some wisdom for that. It will be short and sweet topic for that. So, Premdam Prabhu, thank you so much.
we'll do this. Hare Krishna. Okay, so today, as Nirmala Prabhu was saying, we're going to talk a bit about Gauranga Mahaprabhu. We'll talk a bit about Nityanand Prabhu. And you can all see the screen is there. Okay. So today what I thought was I'm just going to keep it a bit simple. Okay, because not because the topic is simple, but because when we are sometimes preparing for a big festival, what strengthens us most is revisiting the foundation, right? So it's not always new philosophy that we need. You know, sometimes renewed appreciation for this topic can be extremely valuable. So is that okay with everyone? Well, even if it's not, I've already prepared. So you can't do much. I'm going to present what I'm going to present. And if I can fix this mic in the meantime. Okay, I'll probably keep it this way. Okay, so next slide. Where's my cursor? So we'll start with the prayer. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. I was born in the darkest ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. I always sing this bhajan, but just because of the shorter time, I'll skip this. But as you can see, this bhajan, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he wrote this bhajan, and it encompasses the entire Golok Vrindavan Dham. And actually, as a matter of fact, this is what Mahaprabhu came to give us, a view into the Golok Vrindavan Dham. Because Prabhupada Saraswati wrote a verse, he said, Aradhyo Bhagavan Vrajesha Tadhama Vrindavana Ramya Kachidupasana Vrajvadhu Vargenaya Kalpita. So what he was saying is that, and then eventually says, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Matamidam Tatradarana. That Mahaprabhu's opinion is that there is Aradhyo Bhagavan Vrajesha Tanaya. So he's Vrajendra. Krishna is the topmost Bhagavan to worship. And then Vrindavan is the best place to be in. And the gopis are the ones whom we have to follow. So Mahaprabhu actually came to present this very bhajan to us. Okay. But I'll just skip it for it. Okay, so what I wanted to do, as I was saying, we could talk about Mahaprabhu. And just to be frank, there are many things that even I don't fully understand, right? So I'm sharing them. I'm also trying to understand them as I grow with all of you. So if you find anything wrong, please feel free to correct me. But after the class, not in the middle of the class, okay? So let's start with Nityanand Prabhu, okay? So when I was practicing, and I've been practicing, and early on, I was very confused. You know, Nityanand Prabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, yes, what is Nityanand Prabhu's role? What is Mahaprabhu's role? Where do they come in? They're extremely exalted personalities. You know, you read about them. We have them on the altar right there, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityanand Prabhu. But then what is their role, right? So, and then I, talked to some senior devotees, and then, reading and Krishna Mercy, it eventually comes out that but the goal of bhakti is prema, right? It's love for Radha and Krishna. But unfortunately, we are very conditioned and we are very distracted. In Bhagavatam itself, we are told that prayana lalpayush kalo asmin yughe jana manda sumanda mateo manda bhagya hi upadrita. That alpa ayush, we are short-lived in Kali Yuga. We are manda, we are lazy. Sumanda mateo, we are misguided, and we are distracted. Those qualities are not necessarily qualities, but those are the attributes we all have in Kali Yuga. Right, so that's why Nityanand Prabhu comes. He comes as Guru, right? He's the incarnation of Balaram, Lord Balaram. So he comes. He's the original Guru, and he is an embodiment of unconditional mercy. There is no conditions that he put forth that, okay, I need this from you before I can give you mercy. There's no qualifications needed for Nityanand Prabhu. Right? He doesn't care about our past mistakes. And he just says, please chant Krishna's name. Just try to do that. Right? And there is a bhajan, again, Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote about Nityanand Prabhu. And he says that he's just opened up a shop in the marketplace where he's distributing the name of Krishna for free. Right? And he's not looking at any qualification. Says, he says, dhana vidya bala na kare apeksha. That he doesn't need anything. So he's just appreciating it, right? So if people get Nityanand Prabhu's mercy first, then, the progress, the path becomes very easy for us. So that's the role of Nityanand Prabhu, right? He gives us mercy, right? So, as I said, he's the original guru. So there is this verse in Srimad Bhagavatam, and just for dramatics, I put a part of it. I'm going to show parts of it. So the first part of it says, Nirdeha madhyam sulabham sudurlabham. So what that means is that human body, which can award all benefit in life, is automatically obtained by the laws of nature. Although it is a very rare achievement, right? Okay, fine. So you have a human body, all of you, right? But then what's the next thing? So then we are told, Plavam sukalpam guru karanadharam. This human body can be compared to a perfectly constructed boat, having the spiritual master as a captain. Right? Yes, got a human body, fine. But then if I just go and spend it out in doing nonsense, and without a guru, without a teacher, without a mentor and a guide, this life is not much of that use. Right? Okay, so now you have a guru. Then once the guru comes in, then what happens is, Mayanukulena nabhasvateritam. So then, when you read the Bhagavatam, you read the Chaitanya Charitamrita, the Bhagavad Gita, what that does is, those books, that knowledge becomes favorable. It becomes like the favorable wind that will push your boat in the right direction. Even if you have the boat, the winds come, but if you don't have a captain to steer it in the right direction, you've still lost it. So that's the beauty of this verse. And that establishes the value of a guru. And if you're not done that, right, then you have wasted our life. So this is a very direct, Bhagavatam is Chaitanya Charitamrita, Bhagavad Gita, they're very direct. They don't mix words. The word Shastra and the word Shastra, they both have the same root in them, right? So if you don't listen through Shastra, you'll eventually learn through Shastra, when Krishna comes as death, right? He says that in Bhagavad Gita. At the end, I come as death. So that's the value of having a guru, and that's what Nityanand Prabhu does. He's the original guru. He's just giving us unconditional mercy, right? So that's where he comes in, right? So somebody can ask us that, I got initiated when I was 7 from my family guru. And I was reading Prabhupada's Leelamrita recently, and it's a beautiful book. If you haven't read it, that's a must. You might skip Bhagavad Gita, but don't skip Leelamrita. So I came across this section initially where Prabhupada was thinking, when he met Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he was thinking about it, that, hey, I was initiated by my family priest when I was 7, right? So I just put in, I think it said 12. So can somebody read this part? Just read it, go ahead. Yes. So one thing that you'll see in this here is what Prabhupada is being told. He never received instruction from his guru in bhakti, and his family guru had not linked him through disciplic succession with Krishna. So those are the two things that a guru does, right? He gives you instructions how you can progress in bhakti, and he connects you through the lineage, parampara. So if the guru, whatever you may have, with due respect to everybody, whatever guru you had, your family, your parents asked you to take initiation from a guru, or you had somebody in the family or your hometown, whatever it may be. If that guru is not fulfilling these two aspects, then he's not a guru. He or she is not a guru. And that's what Prabhupada learned. And that's what Prabhupada exemplified throughout his life, what a guru is, right? And so eventually Prabhupada went on to take initiation from Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, right? So that's the beauty of the whole goal. And that's where, that's where Nityanand Prabhu comes in, right? He's coming in as a guru, because that's the first thing that guru does. He gives us mercy, okay? And then he opens the door, as I showed you the earlier verse, Nirdeha madhyam sulabham sudurlabham. He opens up the door, no qualification required, right? And then one thing that you'll notice, and in Chaitanya Charitamrita, the first verse of Chaitanya Charitamrita, Vande Guru Nisha Bhaktan Isha Vishavatarakam Yat Prakasham Chaya Sakti Krishna Chaitanya Sangyakam. What Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is doing, who is the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita, in the first verse, the first thing he's paying obeisances to is a guru. Vande Gurun, right? Not just guru, gurun. Gurun means spiritual masters. That's the first thing he's doing. So if you have not read it, Chaitanya Charitamrita, first chapter of Chaitanya Charitamrita, the first 21 verses are Mangala Charan. They are like Mangala Charan means Mangala and Acharan, auspicious, words to glorify teachers, Guru, and Bhagwan. So he's glorifying Gurun. And that's the beauty of Chaitanya Charitamrita. It gives you that essence. How can you practice the philosophy given in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam? And Mahaprabhu himself comes to exemplify that. And what's more interesting, when he's about to finish his Mangalacharan, that's the 20th verse. And then at the 20th verse again he says, Granthera Arambakari Mangalacharana Guru Bhagavan, Guru Vaishnav Bhagavan, then he says, Guru Vaishnav Bhagavan, Tinera Charana. So he's paying obeisances to whom? Guru, Vaishnav and Bhagavan. Again he's putting Guru in front of Bhagavan. And that's a very complex, profound thing to say, that the Guru is more important than Bhagavan. He's putting Guru before them. Right? And then again the next verse is Tinera Smarana Hoye, Vigna Vinashana. When you remember these three, Guru, Vaishnav, Bhagavan, all your miseries go away. Right? Vanchita Purna, that your heart's desire gets fulfilled. That's the value of Guru, and that's what Nityananda Prabhu comes to fulfill as a Guru. That's what he's doing. Right? Then, as you all know, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is an episode where Nityananda Prabhu shows us exactly what the Guru does. So this episode is of Jagai and Madai, as you all might have noticed it from the picture. Jagai and Madai were two drunkards living in Navadvip. They would harass everybody and just beat up people all around. And one day Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur, they went up to him and said, "Hey, why don't you chant?" And what did Jagai and Madai do? They just picked up a stone and they hit Nityananda Prabhu. So Nityananda Prabhu, the embodiment of mercy, he's just lying there profusely bleeding. Mahaprabhu gets to know about this. Mahaprabhu is Bhagavan, he's Krishna himself. He immediately comes, takes out his Sudarshan. Nityananda Prabhu stops him. No, this incarnation of yours is not for punishment. This incarnation of yours is for mercy. That's it. He stops him. Right? Imagine Navadvip, the only time that Mahaprabhu calls the Sudarshan is at that moment. Right? And then he said, then Nityananda Prabhu stops him. Right? He says, no, please don't hit them. They just want your mercy. You're not here to punish this time. As Krishna, you came to punish millions of people because they were demoniac. You wiped them out. But now it's not your incarnation for that purpose. So Nityananda Prabhu stops him. You can see in that painting, Nityananda Prabhu is stopping them right there. And the moment Nityananda Prabhu stopped them, Mahaprabhu's heart melted. And Nityananda Prabhu said, please give them your mercy. And Mahaprabhu gave them, Jagai and Madai, his mercy. And he liberated both of them. And there is when you go to Mayapur, I think there's a Madai Ghat, Jagai Ghat, one of those created a ghat also, so you can go there and see. But then again, coming back to the essence, Nityananda Prabhu is the original Guru. So that's the role of Nityananda Prabhu. When you come to the temple, when you bow down in front of Nityananda and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when you bow down to Nityananda Prabhu, you think of him. He's the original Guru. He's the embodiment of mercy. He gives me mercy, right? So that's what Nityananda Prabhu does. He gives us mercy. Right? Then comes Mahaprabhu. Okay? So now, when Mahaprabhu comes, now as I said, Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, right? So he comes to give devotion, but he's come as Krishna himself. He's Krishna himself, but in a special mood, right? He comes not to be worshipped, but to teach how to love Krishna. Right? And his method is chanting the holy name, simple, joyful, and accessible for all of us. That's the beauty of Mahaprabhu. However, I have met people, when I tell them Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Bhagavan, Krishna himself, they say, Prem Dham, you ISKCON people, You always say Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Bhagavan. Nobody else thinks Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Bhagavan. You just created something out of your own. Then I said, okay, I'll show you proof for it. So I pull out some verses. This is one verse that comes from from Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is Prahlad Maharaj speaking to Narsingh Dev. And what he's telling Narsingh Dev is that, my Lord, you appear in various incarnations as a human being, an animal, saint, demigod, fish, tortoise, thus maintaining the entire creation in different planetary systems and killing the demoniac principles. According to the age, O my Lord, you protect the principles of religion. In the age of Kali, however, you do not assert yourself as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And therefore, you're known as Tri Yuga, or the Lord who appears in 3 yugas. Right? That's why people don't know Mahaprabhu, because Mahaprabhu doesn't want to present himself as Bhagavan. But people who read scriptures, they know who Mahaprabhu is. Right? So he's saying it right there. You're 3 yuga, but then when you come in Kali Yuga, so 3 yuga means, right, you have these Dwapar, Treta, and the third one. Which is the third one? Yeah, okay. So 3 yugas. That's why he says, oh, you only show up in 3 yugas as Bhagavan. But no, Mahaprabhu is coming in the 4th yuga, Kali Yuga also. But he's not asserting himself. But then again, they say, oh no, you interpreted yourself. So then I pull out another verse for them. Right? This comes in the 11th canto of Bhagavatam. Krishna varnam tusha krishnam. Sangopangasra parshadam. Yagir shankitana prayar yajanti hishu medasa. In the age of Kali, intelligent persons perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead, who constantly sings the name of Krishna. Although his complexion is not blackish, Mahaprabhu is golden in color. He is Krishna himself. He is accompanied by his associates, servants, weapons, and confidential companions. That's what Mahaprabhu comes with in Kali Yuga, right? So we have these verses that all come all the way from Bhagavatam, which is itself a bona fide scripture, right? But then why limit there? If you just go searching all the Puranas, you'll see innumerable references of Mahaprabhu. And I think I just put a couple of 2 here. So one is from Garud Puran, which is coming, which clearly mentions that his name will be Chaitanya. He will come in Kali Yuga. And then there is, many of you might have memorized the Vishnu Sahasranam. In that it comes Swarnavarna Himango Varanangas Charanangadi. Right? So he appears as a householder with a golden complexions. His limbs are beautiful and his body is smeared with the pulp of sandalwood. And he seems like molten gold. And these are just a couple of them. I have read, there are references of Mahaprabhu's appearance in Markandeya Puran, Narada Puran, Padma Puran, Matsya Puran, and many of the other Brahma Samhita, not Brahma Samhita, there are other Samhitas and scriptures. So what's lacking is not that Mahaprabhu is not known as Bhagavan, or he's not Bhagavan. It's just that we have not put in the right effort to understand. When we don't read scriptures, this is what happens. We buy whatever somebody tells us, a YouTube video comes and tells us, or my parents come and tell me. But if you have read the Shastras, nobody can come and confuse you. You can actually tell them back. See, I read in Garud Puran, it says it right there. I read in Srimad Bhagavatam. That's why people don't like the ISKCON people very much. Well, they love ISKCON people, but they sometimes say, oh, ISKCON people, you have so many books and all this. Yeah, we have books because without knowledge, you don't go anywhere. That's why Prabhupada stressed on books. When in India in 1975, Prabhupada was inaugurating the Krishna Balram Mandir. In the front, there were all these brahmanas sitting. They're chanting their mantras, throwing stuff all over the place. And, they were even tying threads onto Prabhupada's wrist. Prabhupada was taking part in all of that. But in the back, there were devotees doing the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And Prabhupada said and went to those devotees, I didn't need all these brahmanas to come and, present or do all this yagya. The reason I did it, because if I don't do that, the local people won't accept this Krishna Balram Mandir as an authentic mandir. Otherwise, Prabhupada didn't need all that. That was the strength of the Shastras, because as we know, there are so many Upanishads. Kali Santana Upanishad tells us this mantra. Bhagavatam tells us that the chanting of the holy names of Krishna is the only means of liberation in this life. So, Shastras strengthen us. When there are no Shastras, it all becomes a ritual. You can come to the temple for decades, but if there's no reading, no knowledge from the Shastras, at the end of the day, it's all useless. That's why Prabhupada spent all his time and effort in writing these books. Right? He would, wherever he would go in the world, his schedule would never change. You know, everybody gets jet lagged. And he would travel from India to, you will come to the United States of America. And he said, okay, I'll wake up at 1 till 5 o'clock in the morning. I'll do my translation. I'll go for the Mangalarti. And then there'll be a Bhagavatam class. That schedule would never change for him. And that's the strength of Shastras and that purity that Prabhupada had, which he was bringing from his Guru. Again, coming back to the Guru principle. So yes, a lot of proofs are there. If anybody's interested, I have a list of them. I have around 10 more verses, but I didn't want to bore you. But yes, there's Mahaprabhu is there at all the places where we are told that he is nobody but Krishna himself. Right? So when Mahaprabhu comes, right, so I just showed you that, he comes to give devotion. Now, how does he give devotion? That's a very interesting thing to understand. Right? So this is an episode where, can anybody guess what episode is this from the picture? I don't know, this picture is, I picked up a random one from the internet. Anybody thinks what's going on there? Initiation? No, that's not an initiation. Anybody, give it a thought, people who have read the Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's happening at the... okay, so that's Keshav Kashmiri there, Digvijay Pandit. Right? So Digvijay Pandit was this big shot who had a blessing from Mother Saraswati that wherever you go to debate, nobody will be able to defeat you. And he was like this pompous guy, and he was traveling all over India trying to find out whom he can defeat. And at that time, Navadvip was like MIT, so everybody was going there, and they knew all the scholars were there. And yes, obviously, Mahaprabhu, at that time he was Nimai. Nimai was there. And the moment all the other scholars in Navadvip came to know that Keshav Kashmiri is coming, they all suddenly got a text from their mom that, hey, please come home right now, I need you. So they all ran helter-skelter. They all went away. They didn't want to get defeated by Keshav Kashmiri. So, and then Keshav Kashmiri came in, and he sees this bright boy, effulgent boy sitting on the near river Ganga, and then he's teaching to his students. And he sees them, and he says, okay, is that Nimai? Somebody, yeah, that's Nimai, go challenge him. And then he goes and challenges. And Nimai is very respectful, he knows who he is. And because he's sitting near Mother Ganga, so he says, Keshav Kashmiri, can you please recite some verses for Mother Ganga? Yes, and she has this blessing of Mother Saraswati, and he says, no problem. And at the moment, he recites 100 verses. Right? And, impressive, 100 verses by Mother Ganga, about Mother Ganga, right at the spot. And everybody's clapping, and then everybody's very happy. Oh my God, they're just impressed like anything. And then Mahaprabhu said, perfect, that's amazing, but you made a mistake in this verse. And Mahaprabhu went back and recited that verse to him. And Keshav Kashmiri was amazed. He said, how did that happen? I just, created these verses right now, and you were able to pick out one of those verses. And Mahaprabhu said, yeah, we all have our qualities. You are very good at verses. I'm very good at remembering things. I'm a Shrutidhar. I'm good at remembering. So, but you made a mistake in that verse. Right? And he was embarrassed. And he went back home. And he couldn't say anything to Mahaprabhu at that moment. Right? And then when Keshav Kashmiri went back home, he was looking at, and he was just thinking, he was praying to Mother Saraswati. What happened there, Mother Saraswati? I thought you were supporting me, you were blessed me. And Mother Saraswati came in his dream and told him, yeah, I blessed you, but just understand that whom you were talking to was even my master. No, I'm not going to, offend him. So that's the beauty. So what did Nimai do in that episode was made Keshav Kashmiri humble. Keshav Kashmiri next morning came and he paid his obeisances to Mahaprabhu, Nimai. So that's one aspect how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives you devotion. He makes you humble. Humility, that's what he does. Right? So humility is very important for us to progress in the path of bhakti. Right? Humility doesn't mean we become a carpet. No, not people can walk over. No. Humility just means that we think less of ourselves. Right? It's not that, what are you doing for me? The question becomes, what can I do for you? That's the change that happens once you become humble. And that humility we learn from Mahaprabhu. And there are many other episodes. I just picked one of the ones that I like. Right? So humility, there are 3 qualities you'll see in a person who has humility. He knows that I'm not the doer. Second thing is, there is no expectation. I don't deserve anything. And the third and most important one is, I am a das. I'm a servant. Right? So it might be a bit profound and philosophical that I'm not the doer, I don't deserve anything, but we all can become humble by doing service. Just by doing service, that humility can come into our heart. And that's the beauty of the whole process. That's what Mahaprabhu is teaching us in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Right? And His Holiness Kadambakanand Swami Maharaj, he left this planet a couple of years ago, and he would say, I don't know how much love I have for Krishna, but I really love devotional service. And that's a very profound statement coming from a sannyasi who spent nearly 50 years of his life in bhakti. And he's a very elevated soul. So what he's saying, he's also saying, now I don't know how much love I have for Krishna, but I really love devotional service. Right? So if you fill your life with service, that will bring humility in our heart, what Mahaprabhu is telling us, and then Mahaprabhu will give us devotion. So that's one aspect of Mahaprabhu's devotion coming in. Then there's another episode which tells us another pastime. This is about Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Right? And you'll notice that, so Mahaprabhu gets sannyas, he takes sannyas, he goes to Jagannath Puri. The first thing he does, he connects with Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, and the connection was a bit, not direct. He goes to Jagannath Puri temple and he faints there, and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya sees him there, and he takes him home. And he feeds him prasadam, and then Mahaprabhu comes out of his, he becomes conscious again, and then what Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya thinks and looks at him, hey, you're such a young boy, you're like 20, in your 20s, you've taken sannyas, let me give you more knowledge. Okay, so that's and what does Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya teach him about? Impersonalism. He talks about the entire Vedanta philosophy for 7 long days. Mahaprabhu sitting there, not saying a single word. And the whole thing ends, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya asked him, did it all make sense to you, what I was teaching you? Mahaprabhu said, the Vedanta part was okay, but your explanation was useless. And that just shocked Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. He said, what do you mean? You young kid just out of the block, and you were telling me that I don't know what I'm doing? So then Mahaprabhu tells him that what is the right understanding. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was an impersonalist, and Prabhupada and Mahaprabhu converted him to personalism. And if you all go to Jagannath Puri ever, you can go to that place where Mahaprabhu showed him his 6-armed form, that in which 2 arms were of Lord Ram, 2 of Krishna, and 2 as a sannyasi of Mahaprabhu. You all can go to that place. There is a deity of the 6-armed form of Chaturbhuj of Mahaprabhu there, where exactly Mahaprabhu sat and where Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya talked to him for 7 long days. But more importantly, yes, impersonalism, fine. But what happens is that when you want to enter this university of love that we all are talking about, love of Radha Krishna, and this impersonalism has to go. Okay? But more importantly, it's not just impersonalism in who Bhagavan is, but it's also impersonalism in the way we talk to devotees, how we approach devotees, how we connect with them. Right? If there is impersonalism in our heart, we become insensitive. Because we know, okay, you all are souls, I don't care how I treat your body. So when that insensitivity comes, that impersonalism, that kills the devotion part. So your impersonalism, when it extends to devotees, it leads to insensitivity. When you're insensitive, it leads to aparad. And the word aparad by itself means it distances you from Krishna. So that's the second important thing that Mahaprabhu teaches to us. That first is humility, second is impersonalism. And there are many such examples. I'm not going to go through all of them. When you read the Chaitanya Charitamrita, you can pick them up. But what I wanted to show you is that that's what Mahaprabhu is doing. He's coming to give us devotion. So that's the connection that I made when I was reading when I read Chaitanya Charitamrita. Nityanand Prabhu comes to give you mercy. He's the original form of Guru. Once that mercy comes into your heart, then Mahaprabhu comes and gives you devotion. Right? So now, but then how do we meet Mahaprabhu today? Right? We cannot go back in time 500-600 years ago, be in Jagannath Puri, see that beautiful sannyasi walking down the street chanting Hare Krishna. No, you can meet him. You can meet him right now. It reaches us through Chaitanya Charitamrita. Chaitanya Charitamrita is a book written by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. It's about the life and philosophy of Mahaprabhu, what Mahaprabhu taught. Right? But then again, when we say this, I just a couple of days ago, I was talking to a few devotees, and they brought out a very good point. They said, But it didn't Prabhupada say that Chaitanya Charitamrita is a postgraduate study. Devotees said that. And I said, well, they're right. Prabhupada says that himself in the Chaitanya Charitamrita introduction. He says Chaitanya Charitamrita is the postgraduate study of spiritual knowledge. But then there's another sentence Prabhupada says after that, which people generally miss. Although all these great scriptures are on the same absolute level, for the sake of comparative study, the Chaitanya Charitamrita is considered to be on the highest platform. Every verse in it is perfectly composed. Right? They are on the same absolute level. Right? So what does Prabhupada mean by postgraduate study? Right? So what does postgraduate study means? It means it's not about the chronology, that you have to read Bhagavad Gita, then the Bhagavatam, and then the Chaitanya Charitamrita. No, it's not that way. It's about depth. Right? So Bhagavad Gita, it teaches us the Sambandh. Who am I? Who's Krishna? Who's Bhagavan? And then the Srimad Bhagavatam gives us that how can I convert that relationship, that Sambandha, which I've learned from Bhagavad Gita, into rasa. Right? And then Chaitanya Charitamrita reveals how to practice that highest rasa. That's what Chaitanya Charitamrita does. So there's a very simple connection, right? So Bhagavad Gita gives us direction, how to move towards our final goal. Bhagavatam gives us the revelation, and Chaitanya Charitamrita gives us that entrance into that love, that abode that we are looking for. So it's a cyclic connection. And bhakti is spiritual in nature. Okay? Sorry, when I say bhakti I mean spiral in nature. It's not like, okay, first I read Bhagavad Gita, then Bhagavad. No, it's a spiral. You keep reading the books, then you go deeper and deeper and deeper until you reach the final point. There's no other book. You can go to, Ras Bihari Lal when you go to Vrindavan, Loi Bazaar, you can go to him. He has practically every single book written about Gaudiya Vaishnavas. He has many other esoteric books. You can buy Vedas from there. You can buy, Samhitas, Upanishads and whatnot. What are you going to do with them is the bigger question. What are you going to do with them? If there is no guru to explain us what's the meaning of it, if there is no softening of heart after reading it, transformation, what am I going to do with all the books? That's why Prabhupada always said, he was very clear, first you assimilate what I have given you, then you can go and read other books. So, when Prabhupada says this, Chaitanya Charitamrita is one book that Prabhupada wanted us to assimilate. And historically, Prabhupada was giving lectures on Chaitanya Charitamrita in 1966. He landed in US in September 1965. 1966, sitting in front of hippies, America who had never heard of Krishna, forget Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was sitting there and he was talking about Chaitanya Charitamrita. Pastimes, he was talking about Sanatana Goswami and Rupa Goswami who got knowledge from Mahaprabhu. If Prabhupada wanted it to be a postgraduate study where we read it after 15, 20 years of bhakti, why would he start teaching it to hippies? Because unless you don't connect with Nityananda Prabhu and Mahaprabhu, that path doesn't open up. Mercy, devotion, and then eventually love. That's what Prabhupada did. Right? He stopped the writing and production of Srimad Bhagavatam so that he could publish and print Chaitanya Charitamrita. That's the beauty of it, right? So that's what the depth is about, right? It's not about chronology. It's about depth. That's the purpose. That's how Chaitanya Charitamrita is to be read. So if ever anybody comes and tells you that, Prabhupada said this. Yes, Prabhupada said postgraduate study. But what did he actually mean? Right? What did he just mean that you should read it? Did he create a very elite club that only these people can read Chaitanya Charitamrita? No. Prabhupada wrote the Krishna book even before he completed the Bhagavatam. Actually, I don't know if you all know this, after Bhagavad Gita, Krishna book was the first big book sold by devotees. Can you just imagine, Krishna book is the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, which has all these esoteric pastimes of Krishna and Radharani with the gopis dancing in the night and whatnot. Prabhupada started asking his disciples to distribute that book. Prabhupada was he would never stop himself for presenting the philosophy ever. Initially when he was establishing ISKCON, disciples came, Prabhupada, instead of saying International Society for Krishna Consciousness, let's just say God Consciousness. More sectarian. Prabhupada said, no, it's Krishna Consciousness. I'm not here to fool people. I'm not here to just give them something, half-baked. They should know who's Bhagavan. They should know who Krishna is. That's the beauty. So that's what Prabhupada did. So that's what Prabhupada did in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Not meant for that elite club. Prabhupada did not, he was distributing Chaitanya Charitamrita. He brought the Chaitanya Charitamrita with him on the Jaladuta when he came here. Right? So, now I'll just walk you back again. Nityanand Prabhu, he gives you mercy. Mahaprabhu gives you devotion. And then it eventually takes you to Radha and Krishna, which is the pure love. Right? And Chaitanya Charitamrita, I don't know if you would have been born, let's say 500 or 300 years ago, writing and translating a single copy of Chaitanya Charitamrita would take months. There were no printing presses and so forth. Right? So now, fortunately, we have printing presses. We have the Chaitanya Charitamrita sitting right there on the book table outside. There's Pratyush Prabhu eagerly waiting for each and every one of you. Just take this Chaitanya Charitamrita home and get this philosophy into your heart, that pure love that you all are looking for, all that happiness we all are looking for. Right? Chaitanya Charitamrita is so ripe. Just imagine, 11,500 verses, out of that 1,000 verses are from other scriptures, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Brahma Samhita, Padma Puran, and so many other Puranas. So Mahaprabhu collected all of them so that we could just take it home and relish the love that we all have been looking for. Right? So I think this is my last slide. Okay, yes, I wanted to just conclude with this one verse, which Prabodhananda Saraswati wrote. It says, Yatha yatha gaura padar vinde, vindeta bhaktim krita punya rashi, tatha tathot sarpati hirdaya kshmad, radha padam bhoja shudham burashi. As one renders service unto the lotus feet of Lord Gaura Sundar, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and attains devotion to him, the result of vast pious activities, then as that devotion increases, the ocean of nectar, which is the service of the lotus feet of Sri Radha, naturally begins to arise within one's heart. So just imagine you're taking a dip in an ocean. So in one corner is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu standing. You take a dip there, and when you come out the other side, it's Radha and Krishna. That's what Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu do in our life. Okay. So yes, so we get that mercy and then the devotion from Mahaprabhu and from Nityananda Prabhu, and it's all available for all of us. Prabhupada spent painstakingly, he wrote that book, translated it for all of us to read. We cannot put in that much effort as much Prabhupada did, the intensity, while he was writing those books. But we can put the same intensity to read these books. And as I said, without philosophy, without reading these books and imbibing them, and it's that the purpose is not you to get through the book. It's not that, okay, yes, I'll read it and I'm done with it. No. The purpose is for the book to get through to you. I'll just repeat myself. The purpose is not for you to get through the book. The purpose is for the book to get through to you. Does it enter your heart? Does it change your heart? Does the love of Mahaprabhu come into your heart? And as I said, it's eventually service that brings that all together. Right? The service, it brings humility into our heart. And then the heart opens up. And it becomes like a lotus flower on which Radha and Krishna can come and sit. Okay, I'll take a pause here. We are at 5:53. I'll give a couple of minutes if anybody wants to have any thoughts or comments or something you didn't like or something you liked. Please share. No thoughts? Yes, there is a thought in the back, please.
I don't know if you heard me, if I should repeat or...
I'm good, I heard that.
Okay. So during that conversation, is that where he discussed Achinta Bheda Bheda Tattva? Or can you elaborate on that?
I'm not sure where he did that. I don't remember. It could be that thing, because that was one of the very beginning episodes and discussions that he had. So yeah, I'm not sure about exact where Mahaprabhu did that. But yes, what he brought as Achinta Bheda Tattva was, it's simultaneously same and different, right? And that was the beauty. So what he meant, if I explain it in a very simple way, people say Bhagavan is impersonal, there is no form, he's like a cloud up in the sky. And then some people say, no, God only has a form, only the form, right? There is no impersonalism. But Mahaprabhu said, it could be both, right? He's Bhagavan, how can you limit him? He is Bhed Abhed. So, he's same. He can be impersonal. You can be like an energy. You don't want to see him as an energy. He can be an energy. And if you want to see him as a form, he's in a form also. So yes, that's what basically the Achinta Bhed Bhed Tattva philosophy means, that simultaneously one and different, right? And then Prabhupada explained it, and Mahaprabhu also explained, is that we have the Brahman concept, where we see this world, that, okay, there is something beyond this world, which is, people don't just get engaged and entangled in this world, but so that's Brahman. And then when people start seeing Bhagwan sitting right in their heart, that's Paramatma. And then when people further graduate, they see Bhagwan as this Shama Sundar form. So that's the Bhagwan feature. So not that the other features are wrong or there is anything wrong with that, they're just incomplete. And that too incomplete from the viewer's perspective. They all are incomplete in themselves because they are, Krishna himself. But the way I see it, it looks incomplete. So that's the Achinta Bhed Bhed Tattva, that Krishna can also appear as an impersonal energy maintaining this universe. And you can think about it that way, but that's not the complete thing. That's what Mahaprabhu was saying. You find there's nothing wrong with it, but it's incomplete. So that's the Achinta Bhed Bhed Tattva. I'm not sure about the timing, sorry, where exactly that happened. But yes, he brought that together because there were factions fighting about God has no form, God has form. And Mahaprabhu comes, what are you joking? He can do whatever he wants. He's both. So he just gave us the perfect philosophy. Thank you for bringing that out. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Oh yes, Pratyush.
Thank you so much for the wonderful session, a lot of takeaways. I just had one question, that what are the recommended devotional service for the neophyte, and what should be his mood, right mood to perform those devotional service, to elevate into the next level in the bhakti? Thank you so much.
So Prabhu, any service where you cooperate with other devotees, it's a tough thing to cooperate and not put yourself out as the best one, where you don't take credit. I know, like Thomas Jefferson once said that if we can get so much done if nobody is worried about who takes credit. That's the major problem in us human beings. Everybody wants to take credit. If you are able to bring yourself to a level of humility where you're not worried about taking credit and you can cooperate with others who are working, devotees who are working, that's the best service, Prabhu. Right? But if you ask me, but I'm biased, I'll say book distribution, because book distribution takes me out of my comfort zone. You can never be impersonal or humble. You'll always be humble and personal when you go out for book distribution, because you're meeting people. You have to talk to them. You have to connect with them. So book distribution. But then yes, any service that, as I said earlier, first of all, you can forget about taking credit. That if I don't get credit, I'm fine, and you're able to cooperate. Prabhupada, when he was leaving, that's what he said to his disciples. Your love for me will be shown when you cooperate and keep this movement alive. And that's a very tough thing to do, Prabhu. Cooperating and not worrying about taking credit. So that's the best service, Prabhu. For anybody, neophyte, advanced or anything, whoever it may be.
Thank you, Prabhu. So
Thank you.
I think we'll stop here, but thank you, Prendam Prabhu. I think it was an excellent lecture.
Thank you.
Short and sweet, and gives a deep understanding of Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Continue on this glorification Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Next Sunday, we'll have a Nitai Gaur Bhajan Festival, where there's so many beautiful songs which we don't know about, or many people don't know about. We'll be singing those songs and giving small meanings of each song. So this way, you can take that and sing at home also. It says that when you do chant, you listen, and when you do bhajan kriya also, like singing the songs, your bhakti gets more solidified. And what more than Nitai and Gaur's Bhajan Festival. So please come next Sunday to be part of this festival program. So now we'll have Prashadam, and then after that, I think we'll have opening the curtain at 6:30. So that's perfect. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.